So we'll talk in a moment to David Lloyd, a GP, but first, Lorelei Mathias is an author, comedian, and creator of the online comedy show Life in ADHD. And normally, Lorelei, you would be taking this medication.
Hi there. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm in the fortunate position that I have still got a couple left, so I am rationing them. But I use them on days when I really need them. Can you hear me? Okay,
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Great.
So I had thought that it would be a daily dose indefinitely, but it's not, is it? It's for when you have breakouts.
Well, no, there's loads of different kinds of medication, and the ones I've got, I take 2 a day, but I also take a different kind of drug with it. But what I also make sure I try and get in the sea every morning, and there's lots of other things I do as well. But the thought of my medication running out is quite a terrifying one, because it's already worth saying that the process of getting your medication without a shortage is already like doing a crystal maze challenge. It's so difficult. The hoops you have to jump through, it's hilarious.
Why? Because I would have assumed once you were diagnosed and somebody said this is your prescription, then you could just renew it, can't you?
Oh, you'd really think that, Jeremy. Yes, but no. It's many more challenges, and it's a bit like. There's a lot of systemic problems with any invisible disability. I think we're just starting to understand, but one of my doctors once said it's a bit like you've got a broken leg, but people can't see it. And the process to get your medication currently is you've got a broken leg, but here's your medication at the top of this 10-story building. So have fun with that. And it's the same as applying for any job in the creative industry. You have to fill out all these forms that you find difficult with an invisible disability, but they say, we welcome applications from neurodivergent people. And what we need to be doing is building elevators and building a ramp across the board, whether it's getting your prescription or applying for jobs. So many changes need to be made.
Help me understand this. If you don't take the medication, and I'm assuming this is going to be you for most of your life, what are you like? And if you do, how does that change you?
I'm like a puddle of regret on the floor, curled up in a ball. I have indecision paralysis, sometimes on my bedroom floor, because I can't decide which shoes to wear, or I'm on the floor of a supermarket crying because I can't decide what type of home. I can't make decisions. I can't edit. I can't do time management, temporal awareness, spatial awareness. I once lost a burrito while I was eating it, which tells you everything you need to know.
That's really interesting. I need to know where it went.
So I get asked that a lot. And
under a car seat.
I found it the next day in my communal corridor as I was going to work, and I felt really upset because I was like, I was really enjoying that burrito.
So it's. I'm trying to work out how to characterize that. It sounds almost like a very untidy, disordered thinking, and the medication somehow straightens it up.
Yeah. So what it is you regular neurotypical brains have a prefrontal cortex that has enough dopamine and is fully developed. That's a prefrontal cortex. It's like the air traffic control system in your brain. That's how I see it. Mine was underdeveloped, has not enough dopamine. So it's like I've got no air traffic control. All my thought airplanes crash into each other. And it's like a prefrontal vortex because it's chaos in there.
I see. I completely see that. And I'm thinking now, did you say you've got 2 pills left? Is that all?
No, I think I've got maybe a packet left.
Okay. But you would normally take them every day?
Yeah, I do let myself, because I've not got the kind. So there's something called Strattera that your body. I had a friend in Hove who went on them, and he was weaning himself on them, and they're really difficult for the body to adapt to. So the thought of those running out, and that is on the list. So I am quite worried for him. Luckily, my ones I can have a few days without, and it's not going to cause a problem. But there's lots of kinds that you can't do that with, and so I will become a worse version of myself. So apologies to everyone that knows me.
What's your first, leaving aside the option of going in the sea more, which I know you're in Brighton, so that's a possibility. But what steps do you take? Do you go to your doctor every day and plead, or what?
I've put in the request, so I'm in stage 1 of the admin zone of the Crystal Maze. I've put in the request in the online portal, and I've tried to ring the chemist to see if they've got any in stock, and I can't get through. But I've had some text from my GP, and I do sympathise with the GPs. It must be really hard because of the demand. But I've just had a GP text saying I need to go in and have a medication review, and I've just had one with my psychiatrist. I've just went in and had the blood test. But there's so much involved. There's so much procedure, and I know that's for our safety, and I'm very grateful. I don't want to sound too privileged, but it's so hard. It needs, and I've cried in the chemist before, and it's embarrassing to admit, but the main thing I have to say is I've tried everything on the NHS, but always comedy is the best meds for me, and that's true with my co-writers. We do this thing called MelonComedy.com. We make sketches about ADD, and it's reached a lot of people all around the world, and I'm so grateful for that.
That's brilliant. Tell us the website again.
Oh, it's MelonComedy, like the fruit.
MELON comedy.
Yeah, so melon, like melancholy things.
I see.
Yeah, MelonComedy.com is where it's called Life in ADHD, and my co-writer Emmy, Lauren, Tristan, we've all made it for years, and it's about the hilarity and the horror. But I just want to say to anyone struggling to get their meds, you're not alone. You've got to just learn to laugh at all the things that you do, because they are funny, and then that's been our lifeline. Like, more than any of the medication, that's been the saviour.
Oh, thanks, Lorelei. What a lovely interview. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. MelonComedy.com. Lorelei Mathias, that was. David Lloyd is a GP in Harrow. Obviously, Lorelei isn't your patient, David, but how would you deal with that?
Well, I thought Lorelei was incredibly articulate about the whole problem. Yes, there is an enormous issue. I could talk to you for hours about it, but the basic problem is the one that's facing really very many of my patients in lots of different disorders, is that the supply chain for medicines in this country has been destroyed by COVID and all the other political factors involved. Everything seems to revolve around one factory in China that seems to make all these pills. And so every day on my local pharmacy WhatsApp group, I get a message about which drugs are available and which drugs aren't. And it's a nightmare for patients having to ring around local pharmacies trying to find pills. And this is made more complicated with ADHD because these pills are what's called controlled drugs. So GPs have very strict rules about how much we can issue at a time, how often they need to be assessed, and we provide these pills with what's called shared